Why do adopted people care so much about biology? Why do adopted people search for their families, their quote unquote birth families? And why do so many of us have these connections to people that we've never even known, or in many cases never even met before? As an adopted person myself, I have tried and largely failed for many years to explain to the quote unquote normal person why these connections would matter so much to us. And for me, it's a little bit interesting because I have on one side a relationship with my mom that I've had since I was a child. And then on the other side, a father who has kept me a secret from his family, someone I've never even met before. I have always had a profound sense of curiosity about my father. Ever since I can remember being a young child, I have always thought about my father, wondering where he is, what he's like, and wanting to meet him one day. And really, the same can be said about my mother. I grew up in a quote-unquote open adoption, but what most people don't realize is that really doesn't mean much. I only saw my mom about once a year. I knew who she was. I knew she was my mom in some sense of that word, but I never really had a true relationship with her as a child. I never really felt like I belonged. I definitely didn't belong in my adoptive family. I had virtually nothing in common with any of them. I didn't really feel like I belonged at school with my friends. I was really a loner from an extremely young age. And I know that like not fitting in is not a unique thing to being an adopted person, but if you talk to enough adopted people, you'll hear a lot of us say that this is a very common experience. As a child and adolescent, my experience was defined by my lack of belonging and my desperate search to find something, someone, somewhere where I felt like a human being. I've gone through all the old family photo albums, looking at pictures, and I have just never looked happy in any of these photos, whether I'm smiling or not smiling. And then, what do you know? I come across two pictures that just blow my mind. Looking at this picture, I feel like I'm in a different universe. I look happy. Like the way that my nose is scrunched in that picture. I don't have any pictures of me making that face looking this happy throughout my entire adolescence, my childhood, and of course I'm sitting right next to my mom. And photo number 2, taken on the same day but in a different location. I just can't explain this. Like, I've always felt this connection, but how do I explain this to someone who doesn't understand what it's like? Growing up adopted, I always just had a sense of guilt for feeling this connection with my mom when I didn't feel this connection with my adoptive family. I felt like there was something wrong with me, like I was defective. Like, I was adopted basically the day I was born. My mom is a legal stranger to me on paper. Why do I care so much about this person when I'm supposed to care about these other people? You hear the saying, blood doesn't make family a lot, but that's just a lie written by people who haven't lived the experience that I've lived. My mom has always been family to me. When kids lose parents to death, we don't expect them to see their step-parents as a replacement for their parents. But when kids lose parents to adoption, we expect them to pretend like those people don't exist and replace those connections with these new, real connections with our adopters.